Oh. Pardon me a moment. Well, there is a bit of pollen out here, but I'm taking you outside with me, show you my landscape and my beautiful patio that we have here. And the weather is finally nice, so I think I can start using the patio. And it has lighting. I mean, it's great. I need a little bit of equipment, but I could start doing my shows out here on the patio without too much trouble. Just have to watch out for, we do get things like skeeters around here. So that's one thing we get, but I just saw a little spider go by on a web. Heading that way on the wind. Well, anyway, so I thought, it's been a long time since we did any woo stories or talked much about the other aspects of Ohio because obviously there are no sky things going on in Ohio, which is weird in itself. And here, let me show you a little bit of the sky here. It's getting kind of dark now, but we have a lovely overcast weather that we mostly have in Ohio. It's the way our skies are. So we don't really have too many days of great weather for viewing what's going on in the sky. And it's just Ohio for you. But even at that, I haven't noticed anything out of place. I haven't noticed. I hope you can hear the birds singing. The birds are singing up a storm. We've got a beautiful breeze blowing through here from the blossoms. And Paul told me it was some sort of floribunda. It's a floribunda. I'm going to even take off. I put a little light jacket on because it's been a little chilly, but tonight it's warm. So it's a beautiful, warm, but overcast night here in Ohio. No. Anyway, I got the camera turned around because really, I don't feel like being on camera right now. I thought you might rather see the foliage and what our patio looks like. I'm just not feeling it right now. Plus, I'm going to be doing some pendulum readings, and I want you to be able to see that. So, here we are on a Monday, and it's Monday let's see, is it something like the 6th? And yeah, it's the 6th of June already. Wow. Kind of amazing we've made it this far. With nothing serious happening here. I'm so happy. Now, my question is, somebody said, is this calm before the storm? I don't know. However, I am going to check on that. That's one of the things I'm going to ask about in the pendulum readings tonight. Oh, look, we've got some blooms. I don't know if you can see, but they've been blooming right in front of my face. They look like they were just buds. They're flowers blooming right over on this bush I'm just watching them bloom. I don't know if you can see this. I can't really see it that well on the monitor. I can't get any closer, darn. Hey Pam, hey Gemini. Yes. Well, it feels like it's getting ready to rain here. I'm not sure that it's going to be anytime soon. There's no wind whipping up. If I was doing a ceremony, the wind would start to whip up. I can guarantee that. Um, so if you hear whizzing noises behind us of traffic, that's because we have an interstate like right out the back there, which doesn't really bother me because there's this nice screen of trees. It doesn't really bother me that much. We do have a side road right here, right next to our patio. So it doesn't really bother me that much, though. It's fairly quiet here. I don't know if it's causing you any problems. You can see the blooms. Yeah, they're starting to come out. Um, and there's a lovely smell because we have other blooms through here trying to come out. And I am hoping tomorrow, if things go well, to go on a little foraging expedition. And if I do, I will try to take you guys with me. I'll try to bring the camera and see what we can forage around here. And I'm also considering doing some guerrilla gardening as to getting some things planted that I want to see planted around here. Sometimes I have been known to go to the Dollar Tree, grab a $1 packet of mixed wildflower seeds, and just sprinkle them all over the place just to get some wildflowers in the area. So I've been known to do that. You know what? This summer I'm going foraging. I don't think we're really going to be. I I might as well make this as well as anything. Some of what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling about what's coming. And I don't feel that most of us during this summer actually, so far, it's been less eventful here than it's been in years so far. I don't want to jinx that, but it's kind of weird. It smells beautiful. My gosh, that's a beautiful smell. Oh man, I wish there was smell-o-vision. You would be smelling the most beautiful the blooms. Some of these white blooms down there, Paul calls something floribunda. Wow, do they smell good when the breeze wafts them over this way. But I gotta say, I'm enjoying this more right now. I don't feel as bad. I don't feel as crummy. I'm starting to get some of my energy back. So really, it might be a very different summer for me, but in a good way, because I'm not feeling as crummy. Oh, geez. Anyway, I thought we'd just maybe ask a couple of questions about anything you want to. Oh, you're sick? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. You can usually smell remotely. Yeah, I can too sometimes. Isn't that going to be fun when we fully get these things back in? See, I told you the remote viewing is the beginning. Now the remote viewers that have been in the John's class, they're beginning to be able to remote effect. That's how it's done. If you guys want to see some remote viewing here on this channel, If you want to start doing that again, please let me know in the comments or in the chat, because I would be very happy to do that more. I mean, I'm great with that. If you want to travel around and see some places and ask some questions, we're all for that. I gotta say though, the way we did it in John's is just like I had done it a few times. It was front loaded, so we knew where we were going, which you're not supposed to do, and technically, but you know, we're remote, we're on a mission. So positive what? Positive for C? Oh dear. Last night, but you've been down since Friday. Yeah, I thought somebody got tested and it was not that, and they were tested negative. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Is it the Omicron? Omicron? Yeah, just rest a lot, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of, I just have mostly needed rest when I felt like I had it. I just mostly needed rest and to stay the freak away from as much electrosmog as I could and poison myself less. I'm sorry that you are feeling like that. But yeah, by the way, some of us are finding that when the electrosmog is down, we get our sense of smell and taste back more. My sense of smell and taste has not been quite the same ever since. But which means something got rewired. But when the electrosmog is down, it comes back. And some of us are finding that. John found the same thing. So somehow they react together. Okay, I'm going to do my preface. Yeah, just the same as you would with any C, any of the C's. Lots of fluids and rest. And you know what? I've been getting a lot of my fluids with bone broth. Get yourself a nice rotisserie chicken or some other kind of thing with bones, you know, whether it be a beef bone or whatever. Make yourself some bone broth. Or have somebody make it for you. You're the sick lady. Have somebody make you some bone broth, girl. Because I gotta say, that really makes me feel better. Like I'll be hungry and I don't know what for, and nothing quite tastes right, and it comes and goes. There's almost like sometimes a funny taste on my tongue when I'm breathing, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? But I find that broth, I can have the broth. So when I get those rotisserie chickens home from Myers, and we eat the chicken all off, me and Cowboy, once the chicken is off, they go in a pot with whatever vegetables I got around, and they in a lot of water, and just put them on the stove and let them simmer all day on low. And lo and behold, comes out a nice broth. I don't like the solid part. I don't bother eating the solid part. I just let it cook down to nothing where everything is out of it. What you want to do is get the white ends. Like if you use chicken, for instance, you want to get the white ends off of the bones to dissolve into there, because that's collagen. It's free collagen. It'll go to your joints, it'll go to your skin, it'll go to everything else. It'll replace your collagen. It'll help you replace your collagen. And so it's similar stuff to what you're going to buy in a pill. So it's free collagen. You might as well use it. Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, well, you saw what it did to me, and it went on a long time, but then again, we have a lot of electrosmog. We had what a lot of people would consider high electrosmog here. What they're calling it way too much electrosmog, and I couldn't get rested. Yeah, and couldn't hardly, yeah. You sleep and eating is kind of weird. And, but you come through it. You can say to yourself, I am more resistant to things now. Growing like a weed. Baby's growing like a weed. Well, that's good, because weeds grow pretty sturdy. Yeah, bone broth is one of the best things you can have when you're sick. It really strengthens you. I'm going to do my disclaimer while I see if anybody else notices that I'm on. But it's a Monday night, and it's kind of a weird time. It's a little later than I usually come on, so I don't know. There may be something else going on. I'm just glad that the mosquitoes aren't after me yet. I don't know. I haven't had a bite yet, I don't think. I haven't seen any. So I think we're doing good. So I'm going to do my disclaimer. Hi, I am the Ocean Swagger. This is kind of a weird night tonight. We're just out on the patio shooting the skeet. Come and join me on the patio. You know what? I'm going to bring drinks out here, and I'm surprised. The new guy, we've got a new guy from the guy that let, just as I kind of predicted too. The guy that used to work here in maintenance is gone. Well, he let the place flood twice, and not because of any natural reason, but because of a air conditioner twice. I mean, 2 years in a row. It must have cost them a freaking bloody fortune. Both times they had to pump the place out and dry things off, and they might have had to pay for some things that got damaged. Probably a lot of things. They had to have contractors come in and redo the place, and oh boy, so it can't have been a good time for them. So the new guy, it's actually a good thing. The new guy is much better. In fact, I used to come out here, and here's our tabletop, and here's my pendulum, so I'm ready. Hang on, let me kind of face another way here. Yeah, the guy was not really very into his job, I guess. I would come out here and it would be filthy. Heck, it's so clean. I'm not worried at all about setting things on here. It looks kind of shiny, actually. Somebody came out here and actually cleaned and shined it up a bit. I'm thrilled, and he's so nice that when we go out, there's a little drive in back, but there's usually a big trash can blocking it, industrial trash can dumpster. And the guy, if he knows we're going out, he'll move it so that Paul can come back, or whoever can come back and pick me up in the back without having to drive around the dumpster, which is nice. So he's a nice guy. So I'm really happy with the way things are manifesting here. Hi, Bliss Wagon. How you doing? Yeah, how are you doing? Mm. Yeah, everybody should have antibodies, but I can understand if they don't want to take a chance. So, hey, Hapless Bee. Bzzz. My mother's name was Bee. Actually, it started out being China Bee. That was her Indian name. But they anglicized, it got anglicized when she went to school into China Bee. And then it went into, they didn't want to use the China part, and they gave her, her name went through transformations. It's hard to understand what was going on back in the day. In my mom's time, she grew up during the Depression. She was born, she saw the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and all the way up to the 90s. So, hey, Alexander, how you doing? Okay, so my disclaimer, and my disclaimer is, hi, I'm D Ocean Swagger, D Ocean's Deep Woo, and here what we do is the deepest of woos. Woo is what we do. It's all we do is woo, pretty much. We do a few other things, but mostly woo. We are I am the queen of woo. Pretty much. So, because my whole life is woo. I mean, the whole life has been about woo. Hey, and cheers to Alexander. So, hi, Bliss E. Yeah, I saw some of what you were doing over there. I saw what you were doing over there, hi, Bliss B. Well, it's a good thing my grandmother didn't see it. She would have spanked you with an iron pan. No, she wouldn't have done that. She was actually pretty nice. She saved the iron pan for uh Queen of the Deep Woo. Wow, that sounds good. That sounds like a book title. I mean, can I use that, Alexander, as a book title? Queen of the Deep Woo. So, anyway, let's see. Back to the disclaimer. Oh, yes. So we do woo. If you are new to woo, if you're woo new, a newbie woo, then you're welcome. However, realize that most of us here are experiencers, and that's why we kind of gravitated together, is because we're experiencers. So most of us already believe in stuff that most other people just kind of conjecture about and say, well, it could be, maybe, I don't know, and then they kind of laugh about it. Ha ha ha. No, we don't, though. We do laugh a lot, but not about that. Actually, we just kind of take it for granted that most of the woo is a real thing to somebody. I mean, if millions of people are reporting something all over the world, I am not going to sit here and believe that they're all crazy or hoaxing or faking it, because really an experiencer's life to this point is not that easy, and you get the wrong kind of fame. So if you're looking for fame and fortune, it's really rare. More often you're going to lose your jobs and have bad relations with people and that and you're going to be called a nutball by some, and and you got to mostly keep it to yourself unless you find the right circle of friends. So really, it's not in anybody's benefit, or hasn't been recently, to most people's benefit, I should say. Some people have made a living on all this. Yeah. It's rare, though. It really is rare. And usually the experiencers are the ones that get the fuzzy end of the lollipop of everything. Because, I mean, we got experts talking about this and experts talking about that. But the truth is, the experiencers experience something and they kind of get treated like, dog meat. So we don't do that here. If you experienced something, we will give it a listen. We'll give it a fair listen. We won't just immediately start looking for why you must be nuts. And maybe later, but not right away. No. Oh, dear. We have some little arachnida around here. Okay, scurry along. You little arachnid. We got arachnids, otherwise known as spideys. But that is to be expected because it's pretty damp here in Ohio. So, oh, Denali's here. Denali is good enough for me. Doo doo doo. Wayne Wagner chilling from streaming for a bit, but please come on Babblebox to tell the tale of losing your voice or whatever you want when we're back in a few weeks. Oh, cool. Well, I would love to do that. And hi. Oh, hi, John. How you doing? Hi, Linda. I would love to. But the thing is I didn't know that you were on for that long, because if so, I would have come on anyway. But I have somebody over here until 8 o'clock every Saturday Eastern. So I won't be there in the beginning, but I'll be there toward the end when you come back on, okay? And I'll try and catch you. Please come and let me know that you're on again, and that you're going to be coming on again, and I will arrange to get myself to your channel at some point. I would love to. And I would love to tell my story, all my tales of woo. Any tale of woo that you want me to. How I got my voice back? Yeah. How I got my groove back? Well, that's another story. I'm not sure I really have my groove back exactly. I am pretty groovy, though. I'm wearing I hope you can see it. Wearing a tie-dye shirt. So I guess I'm pretty groovy right now. Okay. So, oh, you nearly emailed me. Well, why didn't you just full on email me? You can email me. Well, thank you. We're all groovy. She says we're groovy. I feel groovy. Do you feel groovy? I feel groovy. Okay. We're all groovy, baby. Oh, geez. So now we got everybody doing their best impression. Okay. Of the groovy one. Okay. So you can open the portal. Oh, open the portal. Okay, yeah. Let's see, to go on. Okay, because we do woo here, we cannot prove it, although we have evidence. I swear. We have people with evidence. People don't really respect that. And, so we can't say that we can prove anything, and we can't diagnose or treat anything, but doggone it, we can have an opinion still. But as long as we say that this is for entertainment purposes only, and we're having fun here. And this is in-game advice about this total immersion, massively multiplayer, deep immersion, total immersion actually, learning game that we call Life on Planet Earth. And it has absolutely nothing to do with real life, which happens outside the Matrix. There you go. Yeah, we're in a Matrix. I mean, I'm with all the other smart guys. We're in a Matrix, but it's a nice Matrix. I got a weird feeling the other night, though, that for some reason the Matrix was kind of an escape. We know a lot happened here. We can see it poking through. That a lot of the hills and mountains we see are melted cities. That's becoming more and more apparent as people examine it more. They find that these old mining shafts aren't mining shafts. And a lot of these places, it's like, why would anybody build something out in the middle of what seems to be nowhere with no water around at the time? You know, weird things. How did they build such elaborate places when they had horse and buggies? How did people do what they're supposed to have done with what they had to do it with? This has always been a big question. This is the mud flood stuff. And even more so, are we on top of the remains of giants? This is the mud fossil work that people are doing. I mean, we have a lot more woo now than we used to in the old days. Yeah, the future ain't what it used to be. We were supposed to be George Jetson by now, in Star Trek. And who stole that future from us? Because, by my count, we had already started to have some of this technology and stuff. I was reading about them studying it back when I was in, let's see, I was in grammar school. I was one of the smart kids reading the papers that were meant for teachers to read, the scientific papers and stuff, because I'd read up the whole library and I was bored. And so I was reading all kinds of stuff I wasn't supposed to be reading at that age. And they were already studying a bunch of this stuff that we still haven't seen in my lifetime. I thought, I'm reading this as a kid, I'm thinking, oh boy, it won't be long before we have all it. It's like we don't have it. We're still using oil and gas and coal, although that's changing. We're still basically cutting and burning and poisoning people to try and get rid of their ailments. It's BS. And like I said, the new technology, and here it turns out that they are hiding technology. Of course they are. People are hiding technology. They're keeping it for themselves and keeping it away from common people. So we should have had all that. We probably could have had all that by now, but we don't. So we've got to keep pressing forward so we can have all that. We are the carbon they are trying to reduce. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, the carbon reducing thing, that's us. Yeah, that's us. The air smelled different. Did it smell better or worse? Earth is not a spinny ball? I don't know what it is. You know what, John, maybe we should take a look and put that to bed. Maybe we should see what totally things the Earth does look like from the outside. Because ain't none of us hitching a ride with Elon for a while. So what does it really look like? You deep pop shot. Whoa. Yeah, we should take a look at that and finally see what are we on. What that was to happen in 2024. I just could wait for all the great many things that was to happen. Yeah, just different. Interesting. So, yeah. So let's find out. Maybe we should find out what we are on. If you guys like that as an idea, yeah, that's right. We have gone through the earth. We have actually journeyed through the earth, the hollow earth. Yep. Definitely we got a hollow spot. And we cruised through it. And for those of you who didn't hear, we commandeered CERN at at John's place. We went. That's what we did at John's over. What did you do on Sunday? Oh well, we commandeered CERN. We took it over. The white hats now control CERN. I'll get out my white hat and show you. Uh, it was supposed to happen in 2024. And you know what? Maybe it still will start to happen in 2024. Yeah, maybe we need to look at the bottom of the ocean. Hey, not that bottom of the ocean, okay? Not my bottom, but the bottom of the ocean on, like the sea, okay? You can't look at my bottom. No, don't do it. Yes, it was more like a Taurus. Yeah, yeah. It looked more like a Taurus. It didn't look like a ball. And there was a hole, and we went through it. But maybe we can get some more information on what the heck is going on, because people talk about the dome, but I didn't see a dome. That we weren't looking for one. So I don't know. And there is a stone, a blue stone called Sky Stone, that has a story all to itself. I should probably at some point brush up on that and tell you a little bit about Sky Stone, but it is a beautiful blue color. So the Marianas Trench, yeah. Where does that really go? Yeah. I'm trying, bro. Let me see what I gotta catch up with chat because you guys come up with the greatest stuff. Let me get back here. Right. Yeah, more of us see a Taurus, and we don't see the little marble. So haven't seen it. Let's just figure everything's a lie. Everything. Everything's a lie. Everything we were told about everything is a lie. Yeah. And as long as you just figure when they tell you something it's a lie, then you're probably going to be right. That's how I do it. I look so smart. I just say, nah, that ain't true. And it turns out to be that, yeah, it ain't true. But then you got to think, if you want to know why something's happening, you can't figure out why. What you do is you follow the money trail and the power trail. It's going to put money in whose pocket, it's going to give power to who. That's what you do. That's how you figure this out. You want to figure things out? Who is it making rich? Who is it giving power to? Who would stand to benefit and gain from this? And when you come up with that answer, then it starts to become crystal clear. Then you get more information on that. But the problem is going down rabbit holes. Here's the thing, is every time you get to the bottom of a rabbit hole, there's a whole bunch more rabbit holes down there to go down. Oh no. Yep, trenches to the inner earth, maybe. Where I be? I am in Ohio. I'm in Ohio. I am out on our lovely patio that our lovely maintenance person must have cleaned, which this is a first. I've never seen this patio so clean. So we have a new maintenance person. He seems to be doing his job, actually. That's cool. So, yeah. So, under the ocean, a level that is going on, of what is going on under the ocean. Realizing our true nature. Well, our true nature to me, I have said this since the beginning and will keep saying it. You are divine. You are divine. You are divine creators. All of you and me. We are divine creators. That's what we do. And if we get our mind wrapped around it, we can do anything we want to. And many of us are already gone through the fourth, what they call dimension, but it's really more of a density thing. And I did explain densities once on this program, how it's actually density, but really in the fourth, whatever you want to call it, D, we'll call it D, like me, then you start doing the kinds of things that we're doing now. So we're really firmly in the 4D, and we're heading for 5. But by the time you get to 5D, that's when you start levitating and flying and telepathy. And I mean, I think telepathy really starts here, though, because some people already have the telepathy. Some people are saying they're beginning to show signs of being able to move things with their minds and all kinds of other things. That's right. We're actually consciousness. All of this is just vibrating photons. Woohoo. Hope you like that vibrator. We're all just vibrating photons, baby. uh, yeah, that's all we are. That's all this is. That's all our bodies are. But of course, we're huge, vast, endless beings, boundless beings that go on forever and probably use this kind of thing to understand ourselves and to give ourselves a diversion. Because think about it, if you live forever, what are you going to do for fun? Right? So, yeah, what are you going to do for fun? Oh, yeah, there are dragons. And the earth is probably, it's funny because somewhere, Roger of Mud Fossil University is always bringing up that in the Bible, one of the things, the guy that they called Jesus, which, oh, I guess that is a skeeter. I may have to move indoors soon. It looks like we do have a skeeter or two out here. Waking up. Am I waking up the skeeters? Um, but there's something in the Bible about, and you realize the Bible is plagiarized from a lot of other books. I hope you realize that, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but that's just the truth. And, there are scholars who know this, and then there are a bunch of people who don't. Sorry about your luck. I studied all this stuff for a long time. I've stopped studying it now because really everybody studied it, and it's like old to me now. One more thing that I don't really care that much about anymore is all of these old tales, unless it pertains to something I'm studying at the time. But it said, one day you're going to look out and you're going to see a corpse. You're going to look at the world and see a corpse. And that's really means that's the beginning of wisdom, is you're going to realize that you're going to look at the world and see a corpse. Well, we've done that. Something like it's the beginning of wisdom or something. It's like, he talks about this all the time. It's like, yeah, well, we're seeing it. The world is a corpse. It is. It's the remains of, we're told, a giant dragon. And how big this thing would have to be in order to be a world, who knows how big these things would. I mean, if this is only part of a dragon, um, oh, let's see. In the Norse, Ymir was killed and his body was used. Yeah, they have different bodies. Yeah, they have different people. But we do see a corpse. They have different beings being the corpse that we see, but they do mostly all um, talk about this corpse idea. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got. So, and then there's Earth herself. She's alive. Now, I'm not sure exactly how this goes, but Earth is alive. She's a being. And you can talk to her. However, I have a feeling she's not quite exactly like us, but she's a being sort of like us. Oh, you're drinking tonight? Doggone. I wish I would have brought out a bottle of wine. I could have sat out on the patio and had one with you. I don't mind. You know what? That's um, another thing, is I do have some friends like this too. Yeah, yeah, I have one for me. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, Book of Thomas. Yeah, that's right. It's in the Book of Thomas. Whoever has become acquainted with the world has found a corpse, and the world is not worthy of the one who has found the corpse. Right. And that's supposed to be, well, I think, well, maybe it was somebody else paraphrasing that said that's really the beginning of wisdom, because once you realize the world is a corpse, then you really, well, like I said, that opens all kinds of rabbit holes, doesn't it? Thank you, John, for looking that up for me, because I couldn't quite remember how that was, but Roger is constantly bringing this up, and I think he's right about this. And the world, what is the world? It's not the earth. The earth and the world are two different things, right? So there's the earth. She's a living being. She has a body like we do, but it's a matrix body like we do. It's a bunch of vibrating photons in this off on generated reality, polarity generated. Everything's polarity, and that's what we find here. If it were created by a computer, wouldn't it all be about polarity, because it's all just ones and zeros? Well, that's pretty much what we find. And then we find different kinds of code too. We find our genetic code, we find our molecular code, we find other kinds of code, we find frequencies, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So, and then once you get to that point, you kind of think, how in the heck did they fool me? Well, because you're told, you're brainwashed, and you're gaslighted your whole life not to know what you know. You don't know that. You don't know anything. No, that you're imagining things, right? So, um, Yeah, you're imagining the ghost, you're imagining the monster, you're imagining the, lights in the sky. You're imagining all these things. You're imagining it all, and bullshit. It's bullshit. It's, I'm tired of having people act like they're the normal ones when they can't accept reality. The reality you've been told is not reality. That's the reality. The reality that you've been brought up and raised to believe is nothing around reality and has nothing to do with reality. That's the real reality right there. There ain't no reality that we're taught in school. We ain't taught reality. We're taught a bunch of bullshit in school. We're indoctrinated. We're not educated so much as we are indoctrinated. Those of us who went off script like I did and went and found other, shall I say, other sources of information besides what I was getting loaded and reloaded up with in school as the curriculum. The curriculum was bullshit. And I tell you, and we repeated the same bullshit year after year, only with a little different twist and maybe a little more detail here and there, but it was the same bullshit every year. It got to the point where it was like, oh no, here I've got to endure. I hated school. It's like I've got to endure hours of this shit. And really, if they would just read these papers over here, these scientific papers, if they would actually read them instead of just having them sit there, they're supposed to be for the teachers. Do the teachers read them? Not too many of them do. They don't have time. I read them. If you'd actually read these papers, you might know some stuff, some different kinds of stuff. And yet, even some of the people who wrote those very knowledgeable papers still didn't have all the answers. And you're telling me you do? Yeah, the whole world is lying to you from jump, man. From the time you come out until the time you leave, from the time you come out into the world until the time you go back into the earth, your body does, or you leave. I mean, really, your whole life, you're lied to and you're processed. I mean, that is what the problem is. And some people manage to get themselves out of it. They're curious enough that they get themselves out of it. But I think quite a few of those people are probably hybrids. I think probably the good guys have been trying to get us to this point for a while, to where we can actually conceive of some of the stuff that we're being told, is actually the reality of the situation. You don't do the Santa thing. That's a good thing, because honestly, I think that's another problem. We break trust with them very early with this Santa thing. People tell them about Santa Claus. Then they find out that's not real. That was all BS. Now, who do I trust? What do I trust? Right? Am I right? It's crazy to think that you're going to constantly lie to yourself and lie to your kids and lie to everybody. Yeah. And then your kid's going to trust you. Yeah. Oh, I saw that presentation. Yes. Yep. I saw it. I'm subscribed to them. I don't watch too much anymore, though, because it's depressing. I'm sorry, but they're kind of depressing. I mean, it's not that what they're saying isn't right. It's just pretty depressing, a lot of it. Yeah, the tooth fairy. I mean, every time, at every turn, cartoons lie. They support whatever the agenda is. A lot of them are, propaganda. Disney was all propaganda. Um, so, oh, the boogeyman. Yeah, boogeyman's another one. Yep. How many things are we told as kids that by the time we grow up, we're like, if you're smart, you don't trust a darn thing anybody's telling you anymore. You shouldn't trust anything. You shouldn't. If you're smart, you start mistrusting everything. But the good thing is when they do that to you and you start mistrusting everything, that's when you start actually trying to figure out what's really going on. But then that leaves you at a kind of a disadvantage too, because it's very difficult. They make it very, very difficult for you to know because there's so many smoke screens and absolute garbage that hang on, I'm going to put this away because it's really warm out here. So, I think, yeah, a good start would be, let's not do this. Let's not participate in this with our kids and our grandkids. And, I don't know, if I were a grandparent, I think I would have a hard time with this. Because if my kids were perpetrating the bullshit with their grandkids, I'm sorry, but if their grandkids ever ask me, they'd soon learn, don't ever ask grandma, because grandma will say something different. I would not lie to them myself. I mean, each to their own, but we ask a lot of questions. They all do. Yes. I asked a lot of questions, and you know what my mom did? She was smart in this direction. What my parents did was they got back then, this is how they did it. They didn't have Google or anything, or DuckDuckGo or any of that, or the internet at all. But they did have Encyclopedia Britannica. So they got an Encyclopedia Britannica set. And if I asked a question, my mother's response was always the same because she was the one that was at home the most. And her response was always, go look it up. And if I didn't understand a word, my mother would say, go look it up, and then come back and tell me. And it really was a great thing that they did that, because honestly, I now have a pretty decent vocabulary, way better than most kids did. Plus, I have a lot more knowledge than most people did, and I always did. So, the only problem with that is it makes you kind of not able to be with so-called normal people. You don't fit in. Yeah. It's like, honestly, you find out you don't fit in. Yeah, those encyclopedias were great, weren't they? Hey, Lewis, how you doing? Sacred geometry. Yeah, I see it off and on. Lewis, it's funny. I see it kind of in overlays sometimes. A lot of times when I'm getting ready to remote view, I am seeing the grid. Oh, look. I have my arm resting on the chair here, on my walker actually, and this thing was going round and round while we were talking, and I haven't moved my arm at all. Hey, do you want to talk? Is that what you're saying, or are you just Do you want to say anything, Pendulum? Do you want us to start asking some questions? It's kind of giving me a small yes that's kind of getting bigger. Yeah, I think the pendulum wants to be asked some questions. Somebody wants to communicate. Hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, I read all the encyclopedias more than once. Yes. Oh, does anybody want to ask a question? This is a different pendulum. Maybe it's lonely that it hasn't been used much. Are you just kind of upset that you haven't been used? It's saying yes. That's weird. I didn't know a stone could be offended by not being used as a pendulum. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, when I do my remote viewing, I have been seeing like a grid before I see the actual thing. So whatever that means. Greetings in favor to you, David Castle. Will my voice heal? And it's saying yes. When it's swinging back and forth, yes, it will. You know why, I think, is because I'm going to help you with it. Okay, wagon? I'm going to help you with it. And because you're going to heal. Yeah, you're going to heal. Um, yeah, it looked like it was going to take off and fly. I know. It's like, hey, I want to talk. Does anybody want to know anything? So you are the chick that we see. So you then, wagon, are the chick that we see in the. Oops, can't see that there. Yeah, now you can see it holding in my left hand. So wow, look at the way it's swinging. It says, ask me something, ask me something. So you're the chick we see in the video. Now I know what you look like. Blue hair. Mine used to be purple and blue. Purple and blue. Hmm. And yes. Um, and oh, by the way, we decided last time, for those of you who don't know, we are going to be now and again, or maybe regularly on Sundays, doing on Sundays in the daytime. If we get that we're supposed to be working on something in the world, we're going to uh, change the world. So if you want to join us in changing the world, it'll be over at Max's. And then if there's still some things to do, we'll come over and do it at mine. And actually, what happened last time was then we went over to my place and discussed it all and asked questions about it all. So it kind of looks like that's how it might go. Oh, it's blonde. Mike, wow. Oh, blue top and blondish. Oh, okay. Will my trip to UK and back be smooth? Yes. Looks like it will be. It went right to yes. Whatever smooth is to you. Oh, it's raining. We've got a little bit of rain going on here. Oh, just a little light rain and that beautiful smell again. It's really lovely smell. A little bit of breeze. It's lovely. Yeah, it's going to be nice. So I think you're going to have a great trip. And you're going to learn a lot of things. So you're going to have a lot of interesting things happen. Yeah. So, Yeah, mine used to be, well, if you look at some of my older videos, mine used to be black, purple, and blue, which were sort of my colors at one point. So I kind of used to do that hair thing, but then that cut turned out to be what they eventually started calling a Karen cut. And so I stopped wearing that and grew my hair out, and now I look more like a hippie. I hope not. Are they going to have schmecks? The schmack scene? They're going to have a schmack scene. No, you know what? It doesn't look like you are, but you know what? There are airlines that are catering to unschmacked people, to people who didn't take the product. So, yeah. So basically, well, it was time for another hairdo anyway, and I tried several, but I kind of lighted on the hippie hair. I part it in the middle or off to the side and just kind of let it hang. But yeah, there are places that are actually catering to the unschmaxed. So, and then you gotta wonder about, hey, let's ask, is the monkey sucks thing a real thing? Well, it seems to think it is. Okay, stop, stop a minute. It's excited. Look at that. Somebody's excited to talk. Are we really going to have to worry about that a little bit? But is it going to be over pretty quickly? Yeah. Okay, stop. Just let me double check on this. I got to put it in this hand so people can see it. So is the monkey socks thing going to be over like real quick because we ain't going through the bullshit anymore? Somebody tells us, yeah, okay. Yep, it's going to come and go. Some people are going to get it. You know what I see with that? Some people are going to get it just enough to look like it's, going to be a thing. They're going to try one more time. And people are just going to be like, I don't give a rat's patootie because most of us are there already, you know, and we'll deal with it because it's not something you die of. Anyway, they can't even make it. Yeah, I think so too. Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing.
Making your pilgrimage to see your lady?
Oh,
Okay.
like your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So that's one of my neighbors. Yes, like everything else. It's just another thing that is happening, going to happen in the world a little bit, and some people are going to get it, and then some other people, most people are not. Or if you get it, it's going to go away pretty quickly. I had a weird rash on my hand for a minute, but I got rid of it with natural means pretty quickly. I had this weird rash starting on just on the backs of my hands, and it's gone now, but it itched and it was starting to raise bumps, and I just put some of that comfort cream on it and it went away. So I was thinking, oh my God, did they somehow get it this far? But you don't die of it, so Oh, the WHO treaty. Who is going to be in trouble? Horton, here's a who. You know, here's another thing. You think about Ebola. People don't think about this. There were people in third world countries where they don't have access even to clean drinking water on a regular basis, let alone modern facilities, let alone modern medicine, let alone. And there were still people living through that. Yeah, isn't that odd? There were still people living through it. Whoops, we got a moth. Hello, moth. How you doing? Kind of smacked me in the face and fell on my finger there. Moth is a symbol of change. Changes are happening. It's a very powerful symbol of change. So no plan for a new disease that will kill us all, maybe. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to convince the people they really want to convince. Yeah, NWO for sure. Eh. Well, thing is, if we just trust that, hi, oh, hello, neighbor. How's the pup? Oh, cool. Still reminds me of my old dog that I had back in the day.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
He's 15. His hips are bad, his eyes are bad. Here.
Ah, but they're still our best friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is one of those stupid things that we're not gonna have to go through this, I don't think, too much longer. I don't think this is gonna last much longer. Okay. As far as I can tell, they're on their last legs. It's on its last legs. It's all on its last freaking legs. And even whatever they institute, most people are not going to go along with it. So, well, they might run with it, and we might run away from it. No, maybe we'll run toward them and say, you know what? You can't do that. It's unconstitutional. Hiveless bee. Yeah, the damage is already done to the economy and to everything. Really, they already ruined quite a few people and killed a bunch more, and have set ticking time bombs in a bunch more. So, okay. Am I right about are there people with what I call the ticking time bomb product? Is that going to end up manifesting into something we have to, what? You're going silent on it? Just, are you, oh no, it's going slightly back and forth. So some people do have, it's like been placed there like a time bomb. Yeah, it's getting more. See how the swing is getting stronger? Yeah. Oh boy. That may be more literal than you think. I kind of think he's kind of. We need to become enlightened. Okay, hang on. I can't do it from here. I'm on StreamYard. I can't make you a mod. Doggone it. Or I just mod you. But I don't think there's any other Hiveless bee out there with that logo. It's Hiveless bee. Okay, do I have a ghost kitty? We have a question. We have a question. Lewis wants to know if he has a ghost kitty. Yes, you do have a ghost kitty. Okay, stop. Does Lewis have multiple ghost kitties? Giving you a number is going to be hard. Multiple ghost kitties. Yes, you do. You have a whole litter of ghost kitties. Yes, you do. Does he have 9 ghost kitties? I'm getting 9. I think you have 9 of them. You have a whole litter of them. Yeah, there isn't any other hiveless bee, I don't think. You'll find it. And Wagon 11.3. Wagon 11.3 on your dial. Hey, Drake. How you doing? We're just out on the patio shooting, asking questions of the pendulum, laughing at stupid people. Oh, gee, we are not supposed to laugh at stupid people. It's unkind. Canadians, cover your eyes. Oh, you got 9 kitties. Yeah. So, yeah, we do the remote viewing of it. I have been trying to send people to John's class because we did remote viewing here, and most of us did really well, but some of us kind of got lost and had bad things happen. I don't know why. I still think it was part of the trouble with who we had with us was part of what drew that. And after we got rid of that, there was some blowback still in those days. Now, I don't think you're going to get much blowback this time, John, because there aren't many of them left to blow. I don't think yeah, and it's saying, yeah, you're not going to get very much blowback on this, but I got a lot. I got a lot of flack from doing what I did earlier and looking at the Antarctic. Oh, that was rough. Well, thank you. Yeah. And I will be doing more readings. I'll be doing readings for the full moon and the new moon. And I'll probably just do them randomly whenever we feel like it. And my pendulum is willing to talk, seems willing to talk. You know what? I always say it's good to be seen. When people say it's good to see you, I say, you know what? It's good to be seen too, because that means you don't need a seance to see me. Well, then that means I'm still around. Oh yeah, oh yeah. People will attack you for certain beliefs that you hold, which is so American. Since when is America all about not supporting people's freedom to have an opinion? When did the free speech? It's like the free speech. Come on, free speech is a thing, people, and it isn't money. See, that's the problem. I think when free speech became money, that was a problem. And then if you don't have enough money, then you don't get to talk, right? I'm going in because I think we're attracting the wrong kind of attention here. You get to see me in my little, maybe strange reflections while I get myself in here. I'll show you around the place a little bit if I can get myself in. We have a security building, fortunately. It looks like they might have fixed the door. And I really enjoy that because, frankly, where I lived, we'd have all kinds of people coming up to the door wanting stuff because we lived way too close to a soup kitchen. I'll let you see the place a little bit. It's pretty nice. This is way nicer place. You've even got a nice clock up there now that we didn't have before. They're really sprucing the place up. So honestly, I think we'll be doing a lot more woo because, frankly, I think now our gifts are going to come very quickly. We're going to gain them a lot faster because we're not going to have as much opposition as we had before. Let's see what I got. Ooh, I got something. Yeah, we got some terrible blowback from going to the Antarctic and freeing trapped souls and all of the stuff we did. Yikes. Oh, it's my glow in the dark stuff. Okay, that's right. Anyway. Yeah, left behind. You know what? Left behind, right behind. You got a full butt right there. Anyway. So, what do you guys think? Well, thank you, Drake. That's very sweet of you. That's very sweet of you to say that. I'd like to think I am. I hope I am doing my job because, it gives me a lot of happiness to see things changing the way they are and see more and more people willing to do what it takes to make the changes. But one thing I'm going to say, see, I know what this is. So, here's my glow in the dark stuff, I think. A little glow in the dark powder to put in things. And some of my creations, and I'm going to be making stuff again. So if you have any spare, hey, if you have any spare funds, you might want to see them. I might be making some pretty cool stuff. I think I'm going to be making things like altar cloths and, but it's going to be on a very limited basis. Do I pendulum my food? No, you know what I do, James? Sometimes I do, but what I do is that it's like when I go through the grocery store. I know Denali said she had this too. She kind of had this effect. I'll get kind of like a ping. It'll be like, oh, I want that. Yeah, I want, I'll look to wherever I'm getting the ping and I'll say, oh, yeah, what's over there? And I'll look and what my vision is drawn to. And it'll be like, oh, cool, something G-free over there. Or, wow, and then suddenly I'll be hungry for, wow, I need spinach dip. Why? I don't know. But for a while it was Kalamata olives. And they tasted like the most wonderful thing you could ever taste. I mean, they had an absolutely exquisite flavor until that shut off. And suddenly now they're just salty and bitter and greasy. But when I wanted Kalamata olives, they were wonderful. It's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. It's sort of like, maybe I know I'm going through a transformation and a healing. And maybe my body needs very specific nutrients to do that, you know? And so, yeah, I kind of get a ping, and I also get a ping if I shouldn't have it. I get kind of a, no. And if I'm not sure, then I bring out the pendulum and say, okay, let's see if I can figure out what's going on here. Yeah. Oh, hate speech. God. Is it a good idea to join a pool league near me? Here, you know what? My mind originally went to swimming pool instead of playing pool. Because I'm thinking of swimming pool. Hope I get to a swimming pool this year. Haven't been to a swimming pool in a while now. Okay, so let's see. Looks positive, Lewis. Looks positive. Was anybody else? No, it's not a nursing home. No, hell no, it's not a nursing home. It's senior. It is senior apartments, though. Hi, Hiveless again. Spinach dip is delicious. Oh, just boiled shrimp. Did you? You didn't put the shrimp on the barbie? The shrimp salad. Well, yum. Bride. Is that a new bride or has she been around a while? Someone shopping for pendulum said one jumped out to them. You know what? I've had things do that. Oh, you've had the ear ringing thing. You know what? Is that really the Schumann resonance or is it something else? Let me see. Is what Lewis is hearing actually the Schumann resonance? Okay, so you are hearing it. Okay. And it is, no, it's the earth ringing. And you know what? Schumann resonance is actually caused by lightning strikes hitting the earth. And the fact that the vibration is going up means more lightning is hitting the earth. Supposedly, or at least that's how it's explained. So, oh, this isn't a nursing home, darling. Are you kidding? This is a nice, nursing homes don't generally look like this. Ooh, June 15th. There's going to be something June 15th. Appetizers and desserts. No, the nice thing is there are some group things that happen here. It's actually a nice place. We have a nice little community here. Not like the, not like some places. Look, I'll show you. We have our fireplace, big screen TV, bookcase. Most people don't read them. Game table. It's all dark right now. Nobody's using it. Oh, it's pretty nice. I can't complain. Ever since I came here, I've been doing better. And I'm able to walk a lot more now. So I'm finally recovering. I think I would have died at the other place. I don't think I would have made it. And it kind of looks like a classy hotel. Kind of. And it looks like a nice hotel. So just keep chitty-chatting while I walk. And you get to see my walker. And I was feeling very self-conscious about it. But you know what? We just got to learn to love each other regardless, don't we? Okay, wagon. I'm not sure, but I think it's after 55. So, and it's a nice place, a lot nicer than where I was. The apartments are nice. If you really want to know more about it, if you're in Ohio. I don't know that you are in Ohio, but yeah, it's a nice place. It's kind of like an upscale, it looks like an upscale hotel, in fact. The people who were helping me move was worried that when I decorated it my way, that maybe I was going to get kicked out because it looked so classy to them. It's like they were worried that my dolphin, what do you call it? Bath curtain might get me kicked out. But no, I got a little purpley pink bow on my door so that I can remember where I live. And a little plaque that says ocean. And you might see some clutter. You're just going to have to deal with it. Sorry about your luck. Hello, cowboy. How you doing, babe? We're rearranging a whole bunch of stuff. Meow! Meow! He says hello. I'm so glad to see you. Where have you been? Okay. Okay, love you, dear. So glad you came. Come to bed when you're ready. Ooh, I wouldn't keep her waiting very long. You better watch it, Hiveless Bee. So, meow. What, baby? What? Now we're going to do the trilling purrs. Happy I'm home. So, anyway, my pineapple, aren't you thrilled? My messy table. Oh, I can show you over in the corner. I made a new spice caddy in my messy kitchen. My kitchen place is always a little bit cluttered. One of the reasons they were worried about me being here, but it's like, well, we clean it up we keep it clean. It's very clean. But there is a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff up on my ledge up there. I'm on top of my on top of my cupboards. Love you too, dear. Front and swamp across the street. Oh dear. Can't go anywhere. Okay, so yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you about that, but yeah, if you wanted to come down this way, you'd be welcome. Or up, I guess it would be up this way. I got a reading mat that I'm hoping will help. I hope I have it turned the right way. It is this lovely thing here. Looks like it has a lot of energy. It's one of those designs that if you relax your eyes go funny and it starts to look like it's moving. Om Mani Petty Hum. I need a mani petty. What? Cowboy, you want to be a star? You're already a star, did you know? You have a viral video. He has a viral video. I live with a star. I live with a YouTube star. Yep. I live with his YouTube star, Cowboy, and you know what? If I told him everything that he's done online, all of his fans and everything, if I told him about all of them, he'd probably be way too important to even live with me anymore. He'd be wanting cat VR and what? Mom gives you roast chicken. Yeah, tell him the truth. Mom gives you roast chicken. You can't complain. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My place is unique. That's one thing that everybody says when they come in, is that it's really different. You know what? I never noticed. But this reminds me of the pineapple. The way a pineapple is, it's almost the same pattern. Isn't that interesting? Okay, yeah, this was just a relaxed show. It wasn't to be anything very thrilling tonight. We're just kind of winding down from a big weekend. I'm so glad you made it, Hiveless Bee, and as soon as I can get there, I'm going to get in touch with you and we're going to have a chitty chat, and I'm going to have you on my show if you want to come. I'll have you guys over. Oh, I know, Denali. Yeah, the chill streams can be nice. Yeah, circular triangles. Reminds me of the triangle ships too, which I haven't seen this year yet. Well, not for a while. Not for at least 2 months. I haven't seen any triangle ships hiding in the clouds. Wow. So when they told me the ships were here, wow. Then they weren't parked over us anymore. They sounds like they went to South Africa. Sure, sure, we'll do it. We'll do it to it. We'll have some fun. Ah. Well, you know what, Drake? We got a bog right near here. It's not a swamp, but it's similar. A lot of water. But we have a lot of water here. You still see the ships over your place. See, that's weird. I saw them every freaking day, every time I went out. Now I don't see any, and no sky streaks either. I hope I told you this, because if I didn't, I've been telling people. The sky streaks can't seem to manifest over our heads anymore. And I surprised my helper when she was watching. She was sitting with me and watching. We were just chilling outside a little bit, and one of the planes came over, making the streaks in the sky over in Akron, which is the next place over. Well, I think is there anything between us? Well, anyway, as soon as they hit the boundary of this area, it cut off. And it was so weird. The long trail, the long streak behind it cut off. It was a normal contrail. Just a very short one, you could see it. Very short. It was disappearing right away. And then after it left on the other side, it started making a streak again. And she just stood there with her mouth open for a while, going, what the heck? I know she was thinking, what the heck just happened? I said, well, can't they can't do this. I decided they're not, you heard me. I sang my song. They can't do this anymore. Not over me, not over where I live. Look at this. Now you saw it for yourself. That's real. I think that's when she really started believing some of this. Is when she saw that. Love you too. Okay, Drake, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming by. Well, I'm pretty convinced we can stop anything. If we know something's coming, we can just say, you know what? I don't think so. That's what I think. We can just be like, I don't think so. Okay, let's see. Is your daughter going to get a better job and life? And it is swinging in a circle because we're actually asking two questions, or we're not phrasing it right. Okay. Is Linda's daughter going to get a better job? Oh, yes, absolutely. And you know what? It's an employee's market right now as far as jobs are concerned. You can get a job pretty easy these days because a lot of people left work. And they are really hurting for decent employees. So if you're a decent employee at all, you're going to be able to get a job, and probably a pretty good one. So stop, please, so we can not be confused about the next question. Okay, is she going to get a better life? What does a better life entail? Is what I'm hearing. What do you mean by a better life? It's swinging in a circle. Well, is she going to be able to then afford or have, let's see, better conditions? Yes. Find nice people to hang with? Yes. Maybe be able to have a nicer place? Yes, if that's what you're asking about. Oh, yes, to all of that. I mean, what do you mean by a better life? It's a funny thing. A lot of the better life is going to be your choice from here on out. Kind of like what I was told when I was saying, how do I feel better? How do I get out of this? Because I feel like I'm dying. At one point, I felt like maybe I was getting ready to bite the big one, and toddle off. And I almost hurt. I'm always getting advice. I will always get advice. Sometimes I have to wait for it. But the last time, the thing that made me, a lot of it was lifestyle changes, attitude changes, changes in my head that I needed. Not have a death attitude. You can talk yourself into having this sort of a death attitude. Or actually people have talked you into it. Yeah, we have really been conditioned to think a lot of crazy things. The number one thing that we have trouble with is believing in ourselves, is believing that we're worthy, that we're worthwhile, and that we're deserving of good things. And once we get around that, then we can have good things, all kinds of good things. But we have to forgive ourselves for shortcomings and just realize that everything has a purpose, even our shortcomings. And it gave us something to conquer. So I've been asking, how do I finally feel better, lose weight, et cetera, et cetera? And the answer was, do you love yourself enough to quit poisoning yourself? I've said this before. It was almost audible. Do you love yourself enough to quit poisoning yourself? So it was a hard question. I guess I had been poisoning myself, not thinking of it that way. We're taught to really enjoy sweets, sugar. We're taught, refined sugar, refined flour. We're taught to love it, to crave it. We're, you know, being poisoned at every turn. And it is poisonous to us because they've weaponized the wheat, and refined sugar is horrible. You can mitigate it a little bit if you get raw cane sugar. Real natural organic cane sugar is not that bad. And I find I don't need as much of it when I use it, but I hardly use it now. I use very small quantities of it. I'm starting to use things like monk fruit. I've used Truvia for a while, stevia. Um, but I found I need less sweets now. Things can be a lot less sweet and it tastes good to me. So than other people. So when I think how we've been pretty much trained to enjoy being poisoned, that's another yike, you know. We'll get out of that. Hey, Black Dragon, how are you doing? The Four Agreements. Yeah, that's a good one. That's right. And love yourself. Love yourself enough to quit poisoning yourself. Well, you know what, Linda? Here's the thing. It was not easy to get to this place. It was not easy to get in here. There's something like a 24-page lease. They wanted 2 months rent. And then I had to do a jump through some other hoops. And the rent's not cheap here either. But it's a much healthier place. And so I had to adjust. And I decided that somehow I was going to do it and I was going to adjust to it and I was going to get my butt to a nicer place, to a healthier place somehow. And I was willing to make the sacrifices along the way and I had many. And that's part of it. I mean, maybe one day we won't have to make so many sacrifices to get things done, but a lot of times we have to make difficult sacrifices to get things done. Like, let me tell you, it can be really something, especially at first. I have to make almost all my own food now, but I've learned how to make a lot of food that's really good. I make my own whipped cream now. I'm allowed to have whipped cream. I can have whipped cream on this, but I have to make my own whipped cream because I can't get what I want, what I need. So, like I said, I drink a lot of bone broth. That helps fill me up. I eat a lot of I eat it. I get as much organic as I can afford to get. I balance it out by, things that I can peel. I figure it's not as critical, but things that I can't peel, they have to be organic. Some things just have to be organic, and the meat has to be the hormone-free type stuff. So that seems to have made a huge difference. Wow. During an EVP session? I want to hear all about it and I want to hear them. Is there any way you can send them? Or do you want to come on the show and let us listen? Yeah, Linda, honestly, when we heal on the inside enough to be, I didn't think I could make it here. I didn't, you know why I didn't try? I wasn't trying to get here, is I didn't believe in myself enough. You know, I helped one of my friends a long time ago, one of my online friends. She had a lack of self-esteem, but I knew she was pretty bright, although everybody was telling her she was dumb. She was Hispanic, and where she lived, people were treating her like a dumb Hispanic. And I said, but I know that isn't true. I've talked to you. I know what you know. You can get a much better job. You just have to go for it. I said, what do you want to do? She said, well, I want to work at a bank, but I don't know that they'll hire me. I said, look, honey, you've got a good brain. Try it. Just try it. I said, I believe in you. I think you can do it. Just dress up nice. Show them your brains when you get a chance. You know, you know what to do. You're not like a lot of people. Let me tell you, a lot of people don't really know how to comport themselves. But you know, and she got the job, and she was thrilled. She was like, "Oh my God, I got the." Yeah, well, you probably could have had it a long time ago. I probably could have been here almost from the beginning if I'd had a little more faith in myself. Wow. Call him out by his name. Yeah. You know, the dead, to quote Alfred Hitchcock, who did make an appearance here, almost exactly where I'm sitting right now, actually, in my kitchen. Alfred Hitchcock came in to visit here back in the beginning when I first got here. It was funny. He came in to say hi and thank you for being a fan. And he said, honestly, I am not kidding. He said, well, the dead are actually quite lively. Ah, uh, they are. Do you know, this is the interesting thing. David has got, I hear David's biography is coming out, biography film. He is the hardest working dead guy I ever saw. Him and Prince are both doing a lot of things on the other side that are reflecting over here. And of course, there are other people too that are passed on that are doing. You know what's happening is they're gathering together on the other side, and they're making all kinds of things happen. Other psychics are getting the same thing. They're seeing them too. As a matter of fact, Prince and David Bowie and Freddie Mercury hang out a lot together. And then there's a couple others. Michael Jackson comes in sometimes. Um, I've seen Michael Jackson a couple or three times. I used to see him a lot more. I don't see him so much now. Um, but yeah, those three hang out together. There'll be some that hang out. Now I'm wondering if Steven Tyler is going to show up because Steven Tyler passed, which I was kind of sorry that his voice is now gone. I met Steven. He was a cool guy. I liked Steven. I really was sorry I didn't get to know him better, but that's another story. Um, but honestly, we're losing a lot of our great voices on this side. And like they say, they got a hell of a band on the other side. They have some very good bands. They have some very good music over there. I visited. I visited some of the places they have there. David took me. He said, "Oh, sure. Not very many live girls ever see this place, you know." and they've got places, they've got entertainment, they've got all kinds of things like we have here, but different, a little different. Things are a little different. Like you don't need gravity. They don't need gravity. When we dance, we can dance in any direction. Dancing on the ceiling, we can do it. No, dancing on air, we can do it. If I could, I would give you a wrench, but I can't from StreamYard. Dargon, dargon, dargon. Can you post a link in uh after the after we close? Can you post the link in the comments? Yeah, I heard Tyler died. That's what I heard. Can somebody double fact check that? Somebody fact check that. It's getting, I'm on to 2 hours now and it's 22%. So I won't be on much longer. But I love talking to you guys, and this has actually been nice having these chill moments where we're just talking stuff about, just talking about stuff. Somebody see if this is true, but yeah, I heard that Steven Tyler passed on. I haven't heard from him yet. I expect I will. If he's passed on, I will probably be hearing from him. I would be surprised if I didn't. He's been on my mind a lot. You know what? He's been on my mind in the past couple years a lot. I don't know why. On the 4th. Yeah. Yep. That's what I thought. Well, like I said, at some point I'll probably be hearing from Steve Tyler because I did have a connection with him on this plane. It's going to be a lot easier to communicate with our loved ones as we move on into the fifth 5D, which is just an energy, a vibrational shift. And a lot of us are already moving into 5D. A lot of us are already doing. It's just a vibrational thing. So that's why whenever everybody and people ask, "Are we moving to 5D tomorrow?" Yes. Are we moving to 5D next week? Yes. Are we moving to 5D next month? Yes. We're always moving to 5D constantly. We're in motion towards 5D. Yeah. It's an energy shift thing. We're constantly moving to 5D. That's the direction we're going because the energy shifts. So we're always moving to 5D. Mm. Oh, alcohol and drug combo. Hmm. Is that what they were saying? Marilena! Hey. How you doing, sister? I would be suspicious. I would be suspicious of that. Okay. Pendulum. You ready to answer this? Getting revved up. Okay. Stop. Are we being told the truth about what happened to Steven Tyler? Went right to no, and a very vigorous no. That's not what happened. Nope, that's not what happened. Okay. Did he go back to the drinking and drugs? Still, it's not changing it. You know what? That's a psyop. Okay, stop. Is he actually dead? Did he actually pass on? Yes. Okay, stop. Was there... Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. Was there a nefarious reason he passed on? Yes. Stop. So he didn't just naturally pass on or pass on because of what they're telling us. He was passed on by somebody. Yes. Okay, we got a new conspiracy. Hey, been saying I need some new conspiracies. Hmm. Something's wrong. Is he really passed on though? Because we don't really see, but he really is passed on. Has he been passed on for a while? Like for longer than we think? He's been passed on. Oh my goodness. For a while. Oh, that's a very vigorous yes. Yikes. So maybe that was somebody giving some kind of intel. It's Steven Tyler. If you see him, it's not really Steven Tyler. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, if I'm afraid I'll lose the stream if I try to check. This is something I'm going to check into and see what happened. See what there is about him lately. Is he, are they saying he's sick? Are they saying he's this? Are they saying he's that? So you're saying you asked the universe? Huh. Hmm. Okay. Well, it's about time for me to close out, but I guess we have a new mystery. You know how I'm always saying I need some new conspiracy theories because all my old ones turned out to be the truth. Hmm. Okay. Well, we got a new mystery. My friends, as always, it's wonderful to be with you. And I have enjoyed our little chill time here together. And I'll be back on as possible and hope to see you around if you have the time. And don't forget to like and share and ring that bell and to make it say all, okay? And leave a comment if you can when this video comes back up and you're able to comment on it. Will you please leave a comment and leave a link to anything you want us to take a look at? And if you are in MeWe with us, you know you can share all kinds of links in mewe.com, mewe.com, and you'll be looking for Galactic Woo Crew group on MeWe. And we would love to see you there on MeWe at the Galactic Woo Crew home. Okay. Love to you all. And I'll see you in other chats. Remember, the truth is where you find it, and you are divine. Good night. Thank you, Denali. Good wrench. Good wrench. Salty wrench, too.